This time we're taking an opening statement from Coach Mike White, the Florida Gators.
Tough loss. I thought we did some good things, especially early second half. Got away from us. We didn't make the best of decisions offensively. I do think we played really hard in the second half. Left it out there on the floor. No regrets in that regard. Just playing from behind for the second 20 minutes, I thought we expended a lot of energy. Had some faulty rotations as we tried to turn those guys over in some run and jump situations. They handled the pressure really well. And a big factor, of course, in playing from behind is it, you're playing the top-ranked defensive efficiency team in the country. And we just saw it firsthand, how disciplined, tough, physical, connected that defense is. They are terrific. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that we played poorly. We did some good things. Just didn't do enough. And they guarded at a really high level, as they do. And we wish them the best. Tough to finish coaching these three seniors. Of course, these two to my left. Kayvon Allen's back in the locker room. He's done some big things throughout his career, of course. He's been a part of a lot of wins, 3 NCAA tournaments, a lot of big shots. Jalen Hudson has scored a lot of points throughout his career, playing the best basketball of his career late this year. Really rededicated himself, became more of a leader, played really, really hard in this past month. Much improved defender and rebounder. In my opinion, I'm biased, of course. I think Kavarius Hayes here to my left plays as hard as anybody in the SEC. And we watched him progress to the tune of scoring at a much higher level than ever before in his career. Should have been an all-league defensive player, in my opinion. And these three guys have all had absolutely zero issues off the floor. They've all represented University of Florida in our program in a first-class manner. And I hate to see their careers come to an end because they were playing very well.
This time we'll take questions for our student athletes. Please raise your hand. I have a microphone your way. Left side on the aisle.
Chris Harry, FloridaGators.com. For Jalen and Andrew, can you just speak to their defensive aggressiveness, especially during that, I guess it was a 14-0 run between the two halves, and also how a couple things they made you do uncharacteristically, like Andrew, a couple jump passes and stuff like that. Is that just what they make you all do?
Start with Andrew first.
I think it was not that they made us, that I just made some bad decisions, making jump passes, jumping to score, but it was more of my bad decision for me, I think.
Yeah, I just thought they were super disruptive on the defensive end, and they really played their principles, and it was kind of hard for us to get into the lane and kind of shake them at all. So you have to really credit them for their defense tonight.
Right side aisle.
Alan Vaughn for USA Today. Can you guys expand on that, on the perimeter? Was it anything specifically they did, or was it just cumulative for the whole game that eventually it was just exhausting?
Start with Andrew, then Jalen, then Kavarius.
I think it was just how disciplined they were on defense, just shutting down driving angles and not letting us get our shots off easily. Good ball screen coverage. But it was just overall the defense throughout the whole game was pretty consistent.
I can just definitely see why they're number one in college basketball for defense. I mean, they were just super solid. Everything we tried to run, they were there. Or the mistakes that they made, they were able to cover them so fast. And they had the 7-footer inside too. So even when you did get in the paint, it was hard for to finish because he was altering shots even though he wasn't blocking them. So and then on the perimeter, we had to take some contested shots, especially late shot clock, that kind of altered our shots a little bit too.
Yeah, kind of like what they said. Defensively, they're pretty sound. They didn't really let up in any categories. And any time we did, we're able to make them make a mistake, like he said. They had a large presence, 7-footer in the paint. Just like kind of hard to get around that, especially when you work so hard to kind of break through to get in the paint in the first place.
Okay, back row. Chris, and then we'll come up to you on the
Chris Cuellar for
left
the
side.
Orlando Sentinel. Kavarius, through 20 minutes, you guys were real close, and did you feel like you were in a good place through the work you'd done?
Yeah, I felt very confident with like where we were. Like we were making some mistakes, but again, we're still kind of like hanging around. Felt like we fixed those mistakes. Play a little bit harder on defense. We're possibly put ourselves in a better position, but unfortunately, it wasn't the case. We're missing like a lot of shots, and then again, made some defensive mistakes that really they capitalized on and made us pay for.
left side aisle.
I know it's only been a couple minutes for the two seniors, but can you reflect on how you remember this season and maybe even in the bigger picture how you remember your time at Florida?
Start with Jalen first.
Just that we never gave up and we fought. At one point in the season, there was a lot of uncertainty, and we never laid down. We never sat down. We just found a way to win, and we all came together. We all banded together. So I will never forget the way we came together and how we were able to fight, and how we maxed out when we decided to, and I will never forget that. So that was important to me.
Yeah, the season was definitely like a lot of highs and lows. And there was a time where, even being in the NCAA tournament was not even in the question for us, but we managed to find a way, band together, and made it here. And I say, like, my time at Florida as a whole, I enjoyed just about every moment, all the games, the experiences that I've had, all the relationships that I've, nurtured, with my teammates, and hope to continue that beyond this.
Any other questions for our student athletes? If not, you guys, you're free to go back to the locker room. Thank you very much. This time we'll take questions for the head coach, please. Left side aisle.
Mike, there was a sequence, they went on that 14-0 run, but then they went on a stretch where they went almost 7 minutes without a field goal, and the one that broke it, although it won the field goal, was the late shot clock foul and the three-point shots. Can you just expand on? I think it happened 3 times.
Yeah, that was our third one. You can't foul jump shooters. It's one of our defensive no's in our program, and in, I would say, most programs. It's written up on the wall. It's talked about every day. It's stressed every day. And we watched it on film, and we talked about it several times in this quick prep that they draw fouls on jump shots, both Poole and Matthews, and we've got to be more disciplined in that.
Question on the back on the left.
Mike, at halftime, how did you feel about what you'd done through 20 minutes, and what were some of the adjustments you were trying to make going into the second half?
I told our guys in the locker room at halftime that if you were to have told me this morning that we'd be down 4 and here are your defensive clips, I would have been thrilled, because we watched our clips. We watched some of the mistakes that we made in the first half. It was too many. It was too many. It was faulty ball screen coverage, faulty rotations, a couple missed blockouts, lack of tracing of the ball a couple times, and then there were probably a few more that I can't think of right now. And we were down 4 against one of the best teams in the country. So, that was a challenge to our guys. Let's wake up defensively. We come out early second half, gave up a basket immediately, gave up I don't know how many early second half, but never seemed to find a defensive rhythm there until, I'm just guessing, 3, 4, 5 minutes into the second half, and then found a rhythm. And then I thought we played them pretty even for a while. We got into a decent rhythm there offensively, if you can consider anything decent against that defense. But I want to say we were hovering around 6 or 7 from behind and had a couple empty possessions. And then I thought we freaked out a little bit offensively. And they'll do that to you. And it's funny, we talked in the pregame. We said, hey, there are going to be some stretches. There are going to be some dry stretches in this game. I'm just telling you. And I know you don't want to hear that. But they're terrific. And just like you guys, talking to my team, just like you guys are terrific defensively, teams will go through some dry spells. I don't know that, outside of Kentucky, we've seen a team that's this sound And so we've got to maintain composure and just continue plugging away, stay the course. And we didn't do a very good job of that. Probably, I would say, midway through the second half, maybe 7-8 minutes left, where we had 4 possessions where we had a couple shots blocked and we had a couple turnovers, all off of just trying to do a little bit too much. And as good as they are defensively, another thing that our young guys can learn from Michigan, every game, win or lose, we like to think that we've got a lot to learn from. And with these guys, as good as they are defensively, offensively, I thought they were just very, very sound. They do what they do. Their roles are very defined. I was incredibly impressed. It's hard to appreciate how good Xavier Simpson is on film. Incredibly impressed with his toughness, accountability, leadership, the way he barks at his teammates, the way they respond to him. He's just a guy, just doesn't make any mistakes. He's just out there just plugging away and playing the game, offensively and defensively. Really, really good.
Any other questions for the head coach? If not, thank you very much, Coach.
Thanks, guys.